man, we hit. Out in San Diego, baby. You, baby. Yeah. Sit your ass on the bench.
Soon after, Mitchell helped to ease Harrison's foot into his mouth.
To the 30, down the sideline, 40, breaks it to the 50, watch out to the 40. Horse race going to get a block from Price. She does. He's to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Washington Redskins, 100 yards.
Hi, folks, and welcome to another edition of The Legacy. I'm your host, Doc Walker. Each week, we take a look back at the history of Washington football. Old school to new with one thing in mind, and that is to win. And we cannot lose when we bring in my main man from Plaquemine, Louisiana, the Raging Cajun, the man who has changed the name of a university to Mitchell U as we refer to it now. But I'll tell you what, you guys think I'm talking trash, but this is a bad man. B. Mitch, thank you for joining the show, man. How are you?
I'm good, Doc.
Back in southwestern Louisiana, there was a young man that came out and set the NCAA record. He's number one. Nobody had thrown for more than 5,447 yards, 3,335 yards on the ground. I'm thinking, who is this dude? They say he set every record. As a senior, he rushed for 1,300 yards. He accounted for 25 touchdowns, 6 passing, 19 rushing. I go, well, where did he go? They said, tried to get him to go to Canada. He refused to do it. And so they got him as a punt returner, the 5th round to the Washington football team. Dude, do you ever look now and go, if they just had given me a chance?
Well, I don't. You know, I think if the opportunity had presented itself, I would have damn sure taken it. But, you know, as I tell people, I dreamed about playing in the NFL. I never dreamed about playing in Canada. And it didn't make me a different what position it was, because I felt I was really a football player. I was never considering myself just a quarterback, just a running back, whatever. I was willing to do anything it took. And then when they started paying me legally to play this game, you know, why not do whatever they asked me to do? And that's just the way I saw it, you know, getting into the NFL and playing and getting a chance to play against guys that I looked up to and playing in different stadiums that I had seen on TV. That was the dream come true for me. So I just tried to make the best of it.
But when you're second in the all-time leading category to a man that is considered the GOAT, that's got to make you some form of animal. I mean, they just can't jump and go, if that's the GOAT, and then that particular GOAT plays 6 more seasons, 6 more seasons than you, dude, I'm just saying, because we throw this Hall of Fame thing around, and I don't do that. When they mention you, I said, well, what more does he have to do? Simply if you're judging him with the rest of the guys. Yeah. You can't mention Hester, you can't mention nobody and not mention B. Mitch. Just from a number standpoint, from combined yardage, no one's ever done it. And so I know you don't dwell on it. You move beyond that. But every once in a while, do you just go, what the hell is going on?
Well, you know, yes, because I think we talk so much about the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
And if you start looking at the Hall of Fame, it's quarterbacks a lot, receivers, some running backs, some defensive backs. It's not equally distributed amongst offensive linemen and defensive linemen, because all of those people can't do a damn thing without those guys. And then when you start looking at the position that I played, people like to say, you know, well, a lot of the yardage is empty yardage. Well, I would have to question that, because there's been a lot of people that played it, okay? And all these people we consider these great people, they played it. And it's probably the most dangerous job out there on top of it. And I think, you know, for me, you look at numbers, and then when your numbers are above everybody else, they tell you, well, it's not just about the numbers. Then you look at the longevity, and then when you were able to do a job that people normally do 3 or 4 years, you were able to do it for 14 years in a sustainable way. They say, well, you got those numbers because you played so long, you know? Well, let's think about this. You know, there were coaches that said they didn't want to kick the ball to me. Okay, every position I played, I think I had success at it. And I think everything that you talk about the NFL being, you know, I mean, when you think about Hall of Famer, it's a guy who people worried about. They game plan to not kick balls to me. I had to start doing things to make the punter mad and then started studying him so much so I knew where he was trying to kick to get there early to try to make him change his mind on his step, and then he'll hit a bad kick, which will give me an opportunity. So, yes, it gets at you because out of all the people that played this game of football, and if all of them are so great and they touch the ball way more times than I touch the ball, one guy who they didn't want to give respect to when he came into the league, Jerry Rice, coming from Mississippi Valley State, he was too slow, he was this, he was that, the other, but he did what he did. And if I come along and I don't play as long as he did and I put the numbers up that I did, I should be given respect for that because I don't have to be compared to Joe Montana. I shouldn't have to be compared to Jerry Rice. Everybody that played my position, Devin might have more touchdowns, but I think they were just as scared of me as they were of him. His yardage is nowhere close. And that comes down a lot of times to be in the best ability. We talk about all the abilities of football, but the best ability is availability. I was there for my team for 14 straight damn years. Yeah. So I think something should be said about it, but you have people voting on the NFL who's never been out of their town. They don't watch no other teams but their team. So how would they really know legally and legitimately how to vote for somebody else that played probably before they even started watching the damn game?
The Legacy is brought to you by Janet King. Let Janet King get your business back to business. Visit to schedule a disinfecting service today.
You can celebrate your lottery win lots and lots of ways, but the very best way to play is responsibly. See how to play within your limits at mdlottery.com/play responsibly. The Maryland Lottery supports Problem Gambling Awareness Month.
DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol.
Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie.
The Eagles.
The Drive.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Racing for a great deal on the Honda Civic Sedan. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
Free health care. Hundreds to more than $1,000 per month in disability compensation and tens of thousands for college tuition. These are just some of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs benefits that may be available to veterans. VA is focused on customer service like never before. Choose VA and see why veterans' trust in VA reached an all-time high. Claim the benefits you've earned at choose.va.gov.
DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol.
Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie.
The Eagles.
The Drive.
You can celebrate your lottery win lots and lots of ways, but the very best way to play is responsibly. See how to play within your limits at mdlottery.com/play responsibly. The Maryland Lottery supports Problem Gambling Awareness Month.
How in the world did you perfect that skill looking up with that ball coming down?
Well, when you get hit a few times, you begin to be much more secure with it. And Bobby Jackson, who ended up coming here when Norv was our head coach, he always say ball security means job security. And I think that's the ultimate thing. Listen, I knew how to run a football. I knew I was a tough guy. I can play the game of football. It was a position I hadn't played, so I just had to learn the different aspects of that. So I had guys on my football team, Joe Howard Johnson, Walter Stanley, guys who helped teach me how to field the punt and how to read the spin of the ball. Then Pete Rodriguez comes in and he told me, say, when you have the ball in your hand, nobody's better. He said, but I'm gonna teach you the art of returning so you can know what the kicker is doing and the punter before they even kick the ball. So he taught me about the pre-snap, the pre-setup of the kickers and knowing where they're lined up and where they're trying to kick the ball, what they're trying to do, So once I begin to learn all the technical aspects of it, now you got a bull in a china shop, and now you teach him how to be, technical in it. On top of that, hell, I wasn't scared to run against anybody. And a lot of the guys running down are smaller dudes sometimes. They don't want to tackle me. Hell, I love contact. So I'm going to put the shoulder pads on them. And I think as I had little success and began to listen to Pete saying what I did directly impacted the outcome of a game. Because, you know, when you're growing up and you're in college and high school and the guys on special teams, normally those are the guys that couldn't get on the other positions. But when you get in the NFL, you are chosen to be somebody that can do that. They're paying you just like they're paying everybody else. Hell, I was the highest paid running back on the football team for several years, even though I wasn't playing running back full time. But I think once I started getting the love for it and having fun, that you've been around me long enough, I had fun on the football field. A lot of guys take this thing so serious. Yes, it is a game. It's a job. You pay taxes, you get an income. But ultimately, it's still a damn game I played when I was a little kid. And I think that is what took me so far in it.
I think about returners. Look how many of them that they've been here. And then you get to Mike Nelms and yourself, who took it to elite level. But let's not forget that Santana Moss has broken off one. Darrell Green has broken off. I start thinking, look at the guys on this franchise. Yeah. The Washington football that have scored on returns. And now it makes me mad because I'm used to a certain level that you guys set, and now they're working to get back to it, but they ain't close.
You know what it is, Doc? I watch football, and I hear so many people talking about their football fans, and they just watch their offense, or they just watch their defense. They rarely watch special teams. What I watch in football is those football teams, and I'm sure you watch it, when they kick the ball off, how many teams in the league you think 10 people going to the end zone? Because the kicker never gets all the way down the field anyway. But the guys running down, all 10 gets into the end zone. You know, it's 32 teams. I guarantee you it's not 16. It's probably not even 8. But two of them, and I think a third one going to be in Houston, is Baltimore is one, Kansas City is another. I played under John Harbaugh, who was over the special teams coach who's in Kansas City. They are running down the field. David Culley is going to be the same way. And then what you find out, that team becomes even faster, even tougher. And then what Coach Gibbs talked about, what Lombardi talked about, what Tom Landry was so damn passionate about, what Bill Belichick is passionate. See, I'm naming Mount Rushmore quarterback coaches here. They all three talk about 3 phases of the game. And so many people that want to vote and have the rights and the power to put someone in a Hall of Fame or not, they don't look at the 3rd phase. So we always felt with our teams that our special teams gave us the advantage over other teams because they were going to be weak on special teams. We're going to put the momentum to our side. You know, when we went to the Super Bowl in 1991, we didn't just have a top 5 offense and defense. The special teams was there too. So that is why we went into every game thinking there's no chance in hell they're going to beat us. And I think people need to start respecting us. If the head coaches of every team, even John Gruden, go talk to him. Ask him why he started squib kicking in Philadelphia when they kicked the first one. I go 75, he didn't kick it to me again. So when you talk to those guys and they care about 3 phases, why the hell is it not a criteria for the voters who care about 3 phases?
One of my regrets, I wish I had been a teammate just 1 year. Darrell Green said it. Dude, I didn't want to be the guy that missed it to the guy tackle you. My thing was to be able to see you and say, dude, I did my job. Know you're going to appreciate it. Want to see your jersey going into the end zone. We cared about the guys that were returners. You got to have love. You had Darrell Grant in your wedge. Oh, my God. I mean, and guys took pride about being in that wall.
I had a 360-pounder Trey Johnson out there,
too.
Oh,
the big bagger.
You know, what it is it's in anything in life. And I tell people, I do my little miniature Doc Walker where I'm a motivational speaker. So I tell people, I say, life is about consistency. If you consistently do something and a person see you doing it all the time, they know how to adjust to what you're doing. Like I remember I went to Philadelphia and John Harbaugh said, what's your concept on returning? I say, coach, kick the ball off, get out the way. I say, call a return. And he say, well, we're not in pass. I say, it doesn't make a difference. So I'm full speed running into guys' backs because in the huddle, in the game, if you're in that hole, I'm going to put my helmet in your back. So at least I'm just running and throwing a forearm on you now. So the next time we run the play, you see the holes opening up. He said, I get it now. In the game, when we go to the first preseason game, the hole is opening up. Guys are getting the butts out the hole. You know what I'm talking about? Because I consistently did it. And then every time I scored, I knew who, because I knew the blocking schemes. I knew who had to block. So when somebody finished, I'm like, yo, hey, Doc threw a great block on that play, coach. You know, the reporter comes, man, great run. No, it wasn't because of me. It was because this person, that person, that person. when you start giving that love and respect and that credit and they understand it, they're going to work even harder for you. And that's what it's always about. So, we got kids out there, I can't get this, my teachers don't. Well, you're not being consistent with the teachers. They're not going to believe in you if you come in here one day and you want to change the world. The next day, you can give a damn about the world.
The Legacy is presented by your local Nissan dealers.
Now it's easier than ever to play the DC Lottery. With iLottery, you can play online anytime.
We all know things are different. Keeping you safe is not. At Innova, we ensure the safety of everyone who comes to us with safe locations, safe supplies, safe cleaning, and safe practices. You're safe at Innova. Get the facts at innova.org/safety.
When was the last time you experienced something different? Dig in to support Black-owned restaurants.
Broken windshield, take one.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, check.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico, great service without all the drama.
At Innova, COVID-19 testing of all patients having a procedure or surgery, continuous training of our team members, and thorough cleaning of our facilities are just some of the many ways we work to keep you safe. You're safe at Innova.
Now it's easier than ever to play the DC Lottery. With iLottery, you can play online anytime.
It's our house. We whoop some ass today, baby. Believe me.
They got him as a quarterback and they put him in the game as the body bag game, and then you ultimately end up being an Eagle as well as a Giant. What do you remember about that?
Well, that game was one of them games where, you go into games and people are getting hurt and seem like they have your number and nothing was working for us. But you know what? Nobody quit. Nobody on the sideline quit. Nobody in the huddle quit. I think that game started our Super Bowl run for the next year because everybody, when I went in the huddle, they say, we will see them at the end of the season. And when I was in Philly, they always talk about the body bag game. I said, yeah, it was another part of that game. He said, what do you mean? I said, when we got in the playoffs, y'all tails got knocked out by us, and it's because the offensive linemen, defensive line, they took that personally. Some days you don't have your best. But you know what? You don't just say, oh, man, I'm going to just quit. No, you fight to the end. You fight being a warrior. And then you come back the next time and you remember every damn thing that they did to you and you get them back. And that's what we did. Then that next year, it was a runaway locomotive, and the guys were remembering that game. Because that game right there kind of was that game where we got tested by the bully. And the bully got the best of us. But he didn't kill us. He left us breathing. And we had a chance to come back. And when you come back, you make sure you understand you made a mistake by not taking me out completely.
And I see that brother over there with that uniform on. And I've know the stories. Yeah, that's it. That right there, that right there. When I tell people the stories, they go, he took B. Mitch to a bar. He would challenge B. Mitch 15. He tells somebody 18, B. Mitch go whoop your behind. So I said, I gave him the nickname the Pitbull because you could take him out and he would attack. But you put him in the kitchen and you watch him with a dish, whether it's fried turkey, but his signature is gumbo. And I know what that meant to my old man. And I just got to share this. My vision, if I could control you, it'd be a gumbo truck. We'd be down in D.C. and it'd be a gumbo truck.
Actually, I'm also a guy who like to be, be like more of the philanthropist, and I do some stuff with Salvation Army, and that's the thing. They're going to do the truck, and they're going, like a lot of times in the winter, they want to make sure that some people are homeless and they want to eat, and we're going to try to go out and cook a huge pot of gumbo, and we're going to feed some people. So we're going to get this thing going.
I know that your schedule's busy. We honor you, and we thank you so much for this, man.
What we all have to understand is that someone sacrificed for us.
Yes.
And I hear so many people, you talk about the pandemic, everybody's talking about, I want to get back to normal.
Yeah.
You got to sacrifice for the people coming behind you to make sure that we can do the right things. And all these people that, I'm not going to do that. No. You have to do some things to make sure you take care of your family, and then your family will see what you've done and they can start taking care of the people that's following them. As my dad told me, make sure that my kids' life, his grandkids' lives were better than mine. And I'm trying to make sure that they always try to do the same thing for their kids, make your kids, my grandkids' lives better than yours. And that's the way you begin to build that legacy, what we're talking about here. You build a legacy by always putting a little bit more out there to help the people coming behind you.
All right, that's it for this week's edition of The Legacy. As we try to tell you, folks, as Coach would say, he's simply one of the best. Until next week, y'all do the right thing. Mask up, keep the social distancing, and we'll see you next week. God bless.